Hello, welcome back. Looks like we're all connected. You know the drill. I believe we're tickling each other is what happened. Speak of the devil. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Wait, was she saying that in English? I think she was trying to do that. Her accent was too powerful.
こら、逃げちゃダメ。
Hey, no running. I got anything? Nope. Hey. Stop screwing around, sleep girls. Why do girls like to touch each other so much? It's not like you guys are lovers. Stop it. Ito and I are right next to you. Don't forget that.
Oh.
Ito took out his phone. The LCD screen lit up.
どうした
What's up?
忘れてた。そろそろ0時だぞ。
I forgot, it's almost midnight.
あ。
I really hope. The new gen killing doesn't happen right on the dot at midnight and then someone knocks on the door to the club room and fucking kills Miyashiro. But I'm pretty sure we're like, the game confirmed that it's Watabe that's going to get killed, right? So we should at least be safe until then. Okay. I need to stop and start to fiddle with the club's PC.
はい。2015年10月10日0時になりました。皆様、ようこそいらっしゃいませ。CoZさんと申します。
Hello, it's midnight, October 10th, 2015. Welcome everyone. I'm your host, CoZ. I heard a familiar voice.
今日の夜は少し冷え込んでいますね。着実に秋が到来しているようです。いかがお過ごしでしょうか。
It's a little cold tonight, isn't it? It seems like autumn's upon us. How are you all doing?
さて、本日放送の機会を設けさせていただいたのは、聞いてくださっている皆様ならもうご存知ですね。
Shibuya News, a program to bring you the latest in Shibuya news. I pray you spend tomorrow in a way you won't regret. The kitty... Wait, have we already read all these? The Kito Kitty Cat's Heart on sale February 22nd, 2015. Nobu Bar, only a few blocks from Kyoto Station, a slice of Okehazama for you. Yeah, we read these. Okay. Anything at the bottom? Same stuff. Now then, the reason... Sorry. Now then, the reason for today's broadcast is, I'm sure all of you know already, don't you?
本日10月10日は6年前にヴァンパイアと呼ばれた事件が起きた日付です。
Today's October 10th, 6 years ago. The vampire incident occurred on the same day. She's right, I completely forgot. Today's October 10th. Somewhere in Shibuya, probably the next 24 hours, someone will... No, I was just thinking about this. I can live the same life as everyone else. So I can just forget about the case.
電話んだよ、こんなと。
Phone call? Who could it be at this hour? Is it going to be from Taku's phone? Ito froze as he looked at the phone.
しんちゃん
They got into his phone?
これまでの経緯をもう一度簡単に。
I'll explain what happened once more. Her voice suddenly vanished. Ito had muted it. His hands were shaking a little.
おい。やべえ。なんだ、これ。
Oh shit. What the hell is going on? Does Ito know that Taku lost his phone? I don't think he's been told yet.
何かだよ。
With what?
電話、
The call.
お前からだ。
It's from you.
は？
Took me a minute to understand what he was saying. Then he showed me the screen.
だから、これ見ろ。
Look at this. The screen read Miyashiro Takaru. No way.
なんだよ、これ。
What's going on? My phone was locked. No, wait, I called the company, had them shut down the account.
どうするんだよ、これ。なあ。
What do we do about this, huh? I don't know what to do. Should I ignore it? I'll promise Caruso I give up on the case. No, wait, is now really time for that? You may have given up the case, but the case hasn't given up on you, so as long as that's the case, pun kind of intended, then this is going to be your problem for the next however long. This is your business now. My mind raced, but I couldn't come up with an answer. The next thing I knew, I'd grabbed the phone from Ito and answered it. Please don't do the play loud Kagame into his ear or some other brainwashing stuff or some memory implantation like in Steins Gate. There was silence. Someone held their breath and watched me. I was going to put on speaker, put my ear up to the phone, and heard. Nothing. All I could hear was the sound of my own heartbeat. At some point, my breathing had become shallow and pained. I leaned against a nearby desk just to give myself some means of support. The person on the other end of the phone said nothing. You should probably close the curtains in case they're watching you. What do I do? What do I do? Damn it, what the hell's going on? Say something, you idiot.
お前、誰だ？
Who are you? My voice was shaking so much it was pathetic. Everyone was perfectly still as they watched. No good, I can't hear any.
Huh?
Is that the same rhythm as the knocking on the door? Every time a murder happens? I feel like it's not the same rhythm.
Oi, どうした？
Hey, what's wrong? Dropped the phone and fell to my knees. Sarka had come over towards me. I grabbed her and held her tight. I was so scared, so scared. It's that sound. The knocking sound I heard when I was at the hotel. I frantically rubbed the ear I'd been holding up to the phone. But it wouldn't stop, it wouldn't go away. That sound. I felt a sense of foreboding in the pit of my stomach. I'd snuck into that hospital and they'd stolen my phone. That wasn't something I could take back. So now we know that those people are I mean, they have to be, right? They have to be... Because if they have that phone, that means they're the one making that knocking sound through the phone. Which means they were the one making the knocking sound at the crime scenes. So they have to be responsible for the new gen killings. Or the new gen killings. Like, how would they not be? They just showed up at every crime scene by accident? I do think it's a little weird, though. Because with the Don't Look case, the knocking happened, and then, what was his name? Otani died. But in the third one, the Revolving Dead case, what was it? The detective was already dead. And the cop was already unconscious when the knocking happened. The only thing that the knocking cued to do was the complete decapitation of the detective. So for all we know, they might not be the killers. It could be a red herring. But I don't know. It would be very difficult for them not to be. That wasn't something I could take. I snuck into the hospital and they'd stolen my phone. That wasn't something I could take back. Kawahara. It's 9:30, everyone. Are you ready? It's time. For the third annual Hekiho Academy Culture Festival to begin. Hooray! All the students in the gym roared as soon as Kawahara-kun finished. Cheerful music began to fill the room. The students in costumes who probably belonged to some club or another began to dance. Half of the students watched them and laughed as they left the gym. They were probably the students in charge of the classroom displays and stalls in the courtyard. Kazuki looked over at me to see if I was okay. Yeah, well, I'm okay. Even if it was a lie, it was all I could bring myself to say. I couldn't smile. Because of her talents, Kazuki was asked to handle the audio system along with me for the student council's opening ceremony. The rest of the student council, except for Kawaharu-kun, as well as Sarika and Ito, should have left during the ceremony to patrol the school. It was only going to get busier when the school opened to the public at 10 a.m. About 30 minutes from now. When that happened, people from outside the school would be allowed in, and many different events would be held. I had to do my job too. But I couldn't bring myself to get out of the chair. Huh? Kazuki offered me a lollipop.
Yeah.
Oh. She thought for a moment, took out a piece of dried squid from who knows where.
Yeah, そうじゃなくて。わかった。もらうよ。
No, that's not fine. I'll take it. Grabbed the lollipop and stood up. Kazuki stayed to handle the audio. She might have problems communicating, but there are other members of student council around, so she'd probably be fine.
ありがとな。
Thanks.
うん。
自主映画特別棟2階視聴覚室でやってます。100円です。パンフレットタダで配布してます。
We're showing a student film in the AV room on the second floor of the special use building. Tickets are 100 yen, pamphlets are free.
9時半から屋上のテニスコートでコメディテニスします。熱くなれよ。
Look at that Garo Froggy hoodie, it's so cute. Garo Froggy Cafe, feel free to get it? Is that what it said? Feel free to pet it. Welcome. Haunted House Panic Land. Starting at 9:30 a.m., we're playing comedy tennis at the tennis court on the roof. Get fired up. Comedy tennis. I ignored the advertisements and headed to my destination. After that call, Ito had picked up his smartphone and called the number back, but no one had picked up. There's only the message that played when you shut off your device. The customer has requested that this number be temporarily disabled. So how the fuck did they call through the phone? Is there a porter nearby? Did they delude us into seeing that when it didn't actually happen and couldn't have happened? We talked for a while, but none of us had any good ideas. By 3 a.m., we'd settled on participating in the culture festival like normal and then laid down our desk to get some sleep. But I couldn't sleep, I was too nervous. In the end, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and was only half awake for the opening ceremony. Final check on the class's video. Well. In the morning, I passed on Morrison in the hallway. She had a smile on her face that she wore when she was with her friends. That only made me more nervous, and I was still nervous right now. Alright, who's the gigglomaniac? I don't think we even have to ask. It's definitely Aramura that made us, like, mutually recognize that. I didn't yawn even once. I could see Sarika patrolling the stalls near the gate through the open doors of the school. Come to think of it, she said she hadn't slept well either. As someone with her appetite was ignoring all the tasty treats for sale at the food stalls, she must have been telling the truth. Yeah. Sarika had made contact with them at the hospital too. How are they able to call when I shut off my phone? Because they didn't actually do it. No, I should stop thinking about it. I'd asked myself all these questions already. Why had they called Ito? How were they able to? Is there a reason they called right at the start of the day of a new gen incident? Should I go to the police? But would they believe me? And I hadn't come with answers to any of those questions. You know what? I think my theory is right, that Aramura-san used Gigglomania to project that delusion that they got called, which is why there was no message that came through, even at like the 12:05 mark, 12:05 a.m. Like there was no message. It just rung and then it was silence, because there's no way Aramura could give a message that wasn't like on the fly or made up, or just something that could generally backfire. There's nothing. She wouldn't be able to speak for them because she doesn't know their psyche, their motivations, whatever. So you just want to freak them out without overstepping. It's also why when they called the second time at like 3, there's no response. The call didn't go through. It didn't work because Armora had already left. There was no one to project the delusion to them. I could hear loud murmurs in the distance.
おい、裏門の方、渡部来てるらしいぜ。
Hey, near the back gate. They say Watabe's here.
マジかよ、行ってみようぜ。
Seriously? Let's go see.
Huh?
He's early. The meeting is supposed to be at 1 p.m. Oh wait, he said he was going to do an article on the culture festival itself, right?
タク行かないの？
Taku, you're not going? At some point, Sarika walked up behind me. Was she on patrol?
どうせ後で会うんだし別にいいよ。
I'll see him later anyway. It doesn't matter. And suddenly she got very close to me.
元気が足りないな。もしかしてまだ昨日のあれ気にしてる？
You need to be more energetic. Are you still thinking about what happened yesterday?
そりゃそうだろ。
Of course I am. It'd be crazy not to be thinking
と
about
いう
it.
かお前だってさっきまで暗い顔してたじゃないか。
You were looking gloomy until a moment ago, too. When I'd seen her just a second ago, she looked really glum, but for some reason she looked better now. She looked surprised I'd seen her, and then...
それはそうだけど、でもさ、だったら何かが起きる前に私たちが解決すればいいじゃんって。
Huh? That's true, but if that's how it happened, if that's how it is, then don't we just have to solve the case before something happens?
5人で仲良く真実を追求し解決するのが新聞部のモットーでしょ？
Finding the truth together, all five of us, is the newspaper club's motto, right? This makes me suspicious. You were looking gloomy until a moment ago. You need to be more energetic. Was she on patrol or something? At some point, Sarika walked up behind me. When I seen her just a second ago, she looked really glum, but for some reason, she looked better now. She looked surprised that I had seen her, and then... That's true. But if that's how it is, then don't we just have to solve the case before something happens? Huh? Okay. So I think this is a delusion. I don't think this is actually Onoe. I think this is Aramura. Because who has a lot of energy and might tell someone else to be more energetic? Aramura. Who did I say was a gigalomaniac just a few seconds ago and was projecting delusions to them at midnight? Aramura. Who looks glum when they're being natural? And then becomes energetic just like that. Just like a switch. Like a code switch. Aramura. When we saw that when she was with Shinji. Or Shinjo. And then in Aramura's... what was it? Aramura's, like, paper thing for the wind chime stuff. It was, let the truth be found, right? And then here it says, we just need to solve the case before something happens. Wait, that's not where it is. I could have sworn. Oh, here it is. Finding the truth together, all five of us, the newspaper club's motto, right? Finding the truth together, let the truth be found. It's just oozing Aramura. I've never heard that motto before. Because it's not their motto. It's Aramura.
タクならできるって。
You can do it, Taku. She's not acting like Onoe. This isn't the way Onoe acts. After giving me a completely baseless motivational speech, she went back to her patrol.
タクならできるってか。
Oh my lord. You can do it, Taku.
タクル、もう事件なんか追わないって約束して帰ってきなさい。手伝ってほしいことたくさんあるの。
Tucker, promise me you're done with the case. Come home. There's a lot of things I want your help with. For now, I need to get through this interview. First, there's a video to talk about, and then the sumo stickers with a different face. It'd be great if I could ask Watabe what that meant too. Do you think it's true that No. Never mind. I took a deep breath and started to go over the interview in my head.
来ないね。
No sign of him, huh?
渡部さん、どうしちゃったのかな。
Wonder what happened to Watabe-san. It was already 1:15 p.m. The interview was supposed to start at 1 p.m. Everyone had heard that Watabe, the famous journalist, was going to be here. The audience seats in the gym were packed. There were even people standing. Everyone in the newspaper club said Caruso had arrived, and we were waiting below the stage. All the preparations were complete. But there's no sign of Watabe himself.
控え室にはいたんだろ
He was in the waiting room, right?
ああ、1時間くらい前かな。挨拶してきた。
Oh yeah, he came to say hello about an hour ago.
何やってんだ緊張してトイレか
What's he doing? Did he get nervous not to go to the bathroom?
それは僕だ。
I did what? Or I did.
は
ここだけの話、さっきからトイレばっかり行ってる。やっぱり僕には無理だ。こんな大勢の前で対談なんて。
Between you and me, I've lost count of how many trips I've made to the bathroom today. I don't think I can do this. I can't talk in front of all these people.
今さらなんだよお前。
It's too late for that now, man. Sure, but I couldn't help but be nervous. I wasn't any good at dealing with crowds or people I didn't know. But now I was gonna have to deal with both. Take the hint.
よし、伊藤、部長の座を譲る。お前が仕切ってくれ。
Okay, Ito, you're the club president now, do it.
アホか
Don't be stupid. Ito laughed away and offered that made in all seriousness. He stood up from his chair.
それにしても遅えなみんな待ちくたびれてるじゃん生徒会は何してんだ
Still, he's really late. Everybody's getting tired of waiting. What's the student council doing? Watabe was supposed to be getting the VIP treatment, and it was the student council's job to take care of him. With Kurusu gone, they're probably gonna have a hard time keeping up with all their work. From what I heard, without Kurusu there to keep the peace, fights and arguments are breaking out everywhere. They only want to show how much everyone relied on her.
仕方ねえなちょっと呼んできてやるか
Oh, fine. I'll go get him.
しんちゃん待って、私も行くよ。
Oh, wait. Shin-chan, wait. I'll go too.
あおい
Don't leave me and Kazuki here alone. Neither of us are capable of talking to anyone. What if Watabe comes while they're gone? What'll we do then? Both Sark and Ito went off to the reading room without us. This was a problem.
あれれまだ始まってないんすね。
Oh, it hasn't started yet, huh?
先輩、チャオっす。
Ciao, senpai. Oh, it's just Aramura-san. Trying to think that she'd ask me to ask Watabe about that picture.
ずいぶん遅いですね。
It's really late, huh?
はい。今、迎えに行ってるけど。
Oh, yeah. They're going to get him now.
ふーん。
そうだ、有村さん。聞こうと思ってたんですけど。
Oh, right. Aramura-san, I want to ask you something.
なんすか？
What?
画像のことについて、渡部さんを追求してほしいんですよね。
You wanted me to ask Watabe-san about that image, right?
その画像ってラブホテルの力士シールのことでしょ。それには僕たちも興味を持ってるんですけど、有村さんはどこまで知ってるんですか？あれのこと。
I mean, the one of the sumo sticker at the Love Hotel, right? We're interested in that too. How much do you know about it? Aramura-san looked serious for just a moment, but then she grinned.
情報量は高くつくぜ、あんちゃんよ。
That information is going to cost you, mister.
お金取るんですか？
You're making me pay?
当たり前よ。キャッシュで5000万スイス銀行に振り込んでくんな。くっくっく。
Of course, 50 million in cash deposited directly into my Swiss bank account.
小学生みたいなこと言ってないで、本気で教えてください。
Stop acting like a little kid and tell me.
むか。
渡部さんにはうまく質問しますから。だから僕らにも情報を。
I'll do my best to get something out of Watabe-san to help us out too.
ねえ先輩。
はい。
何度も言ってますけど、私に敬語はいりませんよ。改めてくれるまでずっと言い続けますからね。
I told you, you don't need to be so self-conscious around me. I'm gonna keep saying that until you fix it.
はい。
Lower your guard around her. No thanks. She changed the subject. Aramura-san was incredibly interested in Watabe's picture of the sumo sticker. Does she think that if I question him about it, she might gain some valuable information? I consider this as I watch her twin tails bounce in the air. And then suddenly, the curtain on stage began to rise. I could start to see the bottom of the lectern in the chairs.
ねえ、始まっちゃいますよ。伊藤先輩たちは？
Hey, it's starting. Where are the others? There was no message from the student council, and we had no idea what to do as we watched the curtains rise.
やっとかよおい。
Finally,
遅えよ渡部。
you're late, Watabe.
渡部さん。
As the curtain rose, the gym was filled with cheers and boos of the students.
人、おのえ、何してんだよ。早く戻ってこいって。
Ito, oh no, wait. What are you doing? Get back here.
あれ？
Huh? Suddenly, Aramura-san spoke up.
どうしたの？
Huh? What's wrong?
見てください。なんか変です。
Look, something's wrong. Is he dead? Already? She pointed to the stage. I looked up towards it.
Huh?
Watabe had come up the stairs backstage, was walking towards the podium. He was staggering, struggling to stay up, and looked like he was in pain. So there are two ways this goes. Either this is a mutually recognized delusion, and he's not actually dying, and they're going to question him later. Or I think this with Gigalomania, your delusions become reality. So if Armura is the Gigalomaniac here and he looks like he's sick and about to die, then it's because he is. But the second thing is that the second situation is that as he's answering the questions, he just explodes during one of the questions during like an inconvenient time. Or like just inconvenient. Would I ever say that? Whatever. I'm just gonna keep on going. But he was staggering, struggling to stay up, and looked like he was in pain. There was thick sweat on his forehead, and something that looked like a drool was dripping down from his lips. But what was even stranger was his stomach. Man's about to burst. How to describe it? The spot between his ribs and hips, right where his stomach intestines would be, was all swollen up. So how many have we had that were like stomach related? He had audio bleed and he had man-child. You heard the word beer belly a lot, but it was worse than that. It was as if someone stuck a giant rubber ball under his shirt. Soon as saw this and started to whisper, the voices grew louder and louder. His moans grew louder as he reached the center of the stage. Just listening to them was enough to make you go crazy.
何ですかあれ。何なんですか。
What's wrong with him? What the hell's going on?
わからない。
I don't know. The whole gym, including the three of us, started to get louder. The student's screams echoed in my ears. Some people were trampled in a mad dash for the exits, but as everyone else was panicking, Aramura-san and I stood there in silent shock.
あれは
Are those?
そんな。
No way. Something was pouring out of Watabe's mouth, mixed with his blood and stomach fluids. It had a face. Is he gonna barf up stickers? Of course, it wasn't Watabe's face. It was something we'd seen many times before. What was it? I knew it well, but it took me a few seconds to understand. And then...
力士シール
Sumo stickers? Armura-san began to scream, her voice joining the cacophony created by the other screaming students. A+ acting. Armura-san, you should deserve an Oscar for that. Well, I guess we know the Committee of 300 is not behind it because she's in cahoots with the Committee of 300 and they're trying to solve it too. October 10th, 2015, Saturday. 12:28 p.m. in an unused classroom in Hekiho Academy. 12:28.
何もないところですいませんが、ここでお待ちいただけますか。
This motherfucker. You are on fraud watch. Can you wait here? Sorry, it's so empty.
いえ、早く来てしまったのはこちらですから。
No, it's my fault for coming early. Watabe bowed, and the man who led him here from the teacher's office bowed back. Then the man left the room. I'm telling you, this wackooey teacher is friends with the dad, the doctor dad. They just want to take these earthquake orphans and turn them into gigalomaniacs. Watabe bowed, and the man who had led him here from the teacher's office bowed back. Then the man left the room. He'd forgotten the man's name as soon as he heard it. All he remembered was that he was a typical high school teacher with somewhat delicate features. Or so you think. I think Wackawee is a copycat. I think he saw how Nozomi and I believe Shogun were all trying to awaken Taku, and we're like, okay, let's do it again. That was all Watabe thought he needed to know.
しかし、なんでもねえところだな。
Oh, that explains something. You know how I said that Wackawee was like... Okay, let me just skip ahead. Ed Lucas. That's Mr. Wackawee. That's all. Still, this place was empty. He'd heard that Hekiho was famous. Once he got inside, he found that it was just a normal high school, maybe a little cleaner than most. He'd seen a TV crew from the news station interviewing a student on his way here, but he couldn't imagine there was anything worth asking one. What? He'd seen here interviewing someone, but we couldn't imagine there was anything worth.
まあ、多少は見どころのある奴らもいるみたいだが。
Well, I guess there are some people here who are worth something. Since his ostensible reason for being here is to do an article on the culture festival, he had to take a few pictures. It didn't matter what pictures he took, so he decided to just walk through the school. As he passed by a class that was doing some kind of Garifroggy cafe, there was a bit of a fuss. Student after student had asked him for handshakes and autographs. Almost the entire class had known his name. He'd even taken a selfie with a girl who said he was a huge fan of his. When he told her to keep it a secret, she'd given him an innocent smile. That was the way it should be. That was the way normal people were supposed to act.
もっと上に行ってやれ。
I'm going to get even bigger. It was only a short while ago that an online friend of his had suggested he come here. When he'd been putting together what he found about the sumo stickers those fucking brats at the newspaper club here published just before he did. He'd given up on publishing his own article, but at least he decided to show it to someone when he'd let his friends see, they suggested he publish it anyway. True, he was confident in the article itself. He got in a very good picture of the sumo sticker at the Love Hotel, which the newspaper club had only been able to get from a distance. There was a chance he'd be called out for plagiarism, then his friend had continued. You're capable of turning that to your advantage, right? His friend knew him well.
所詮は高校生の一部活だ。
At the end, they're still just a high school club. Everything would depend on how he handled the interview, but Watabe is confident he could use this to bolster his fame. The ideal result would be able to show that the newspaper club were the ones who had copied him. They'd upload their newspaper to Nikaniya all the time, so they were sure to know who he was. If he offered them the chance to help with his articles, they'd jump on it no matter what demands he made. He'd start off at the very bottom, he'd work his way up this far. He was capable of getting any scoop he wanted. His power was a blessing from heaven for a man who wanted to be a first-rate journalist. In the whole history of journalism, there had never been a case where a net reporter had identified a suspect ahead of the cops, the news, or the magazines. When a writer at a weekly magazine had found a suspect before the police, all of Japan was in an uproar. Watabe wanted to surpass that.
あとは警察へのコネがあれば完璧だな。
The only thing I needed for it to be perfect is connections with the police. His one worry was the Love Hotel incident. When he charged into the crime scene and gotten into a fight with the cops there, his camera had gone out of focus and he'd failed to see part of the sumo sticker. He'd use that to get the scoop if someone on the police force was paying attention to those stickers. And if they were enough of a weirdo to be paying careful attention to Watabe's articles, they might find something strange.
まあ大して違ってはいないだろうからな。
Oh, so he really wanted to get a clean picture. And to do that, he made one up. It's probably not that different. People didn't really want to hear the truth. They wanted lies that sounded true and embellished so that they were all the more pleasing. Uh-oh. In broad daylight, too. Wackawee has to step outside before he can do this? When he heard the sound, he quickly flipped himself back into hard-working, good-natured reporter mode.
はい、どうぞ。
Yes, come in. I wonder why they do the knock before they kill the person. Is there a reason for that? Beyond just, we do that? Didn't open the door, nor did they say anything. Wate grunted soft enough they couldn't hear and then put on a smile as he went to answer the door. The fact that there's no one here... Like, isn't this a window, or is this just a white spot? Like, this is supposed to be a window, right? So, in theory, you should see someone here, unless they're short enough to not be seen. Like a little girl, perhaps? What's wrong with him? What the hell's going on?
わからない。
I don't know. The students all started to panic at once, and the gym was filled with screams. Then Watabe's body fell to the floor as if in slow motion. His legs were splayed. His eyes were open wide, still full of terror of death. He was weeping tears of blood. And...
あれは
Are those...
そんな
No way.
力士シール
Sumo stickers? Yes, it's a huge pile of sumo stickers. Watabe was probably already dead, but there were still crumpled sumo stickers pouring out of his mouth. My heart was racing. Beads of cold sweat had formed on my back. I felt a scream welling up inside my throat, but something held it back.
警察電話
The police, my phone. Watabe's eyes were motionless, pointing towards nothing in particular. I wanted to look away from this madness, but I couldn't.
警察って何番そうだ117
What's the number for the police? That's right, 117. Master Chief? No, wait, the police are Wait, what was it? Me, it's 119? Wait, do you have a phone? Wait, what was it? Me, it's...
おい
Hey. Is that CoZ? When he heard the voice, we were finally able to tear our eyes away from Watabe's body. There was a female student making her way towards us, past the crowds fleeing towards the exits. A female student? No, she felt too grown up for that. She was wearing a white lab coat. Between that and the sharp look in her eyes, part of me thought she might be a coroner.
一体何があった
What happened here? She slowly looked around the gym. Her gaze stopped at Watabe's
あ
body.
れは
What is that? And then without moving an eyebrow, she said,
やったのはお前たちか
Did you do that? The certain origin of the tales of the other side.
なるほどな。じゃあ被害者渡部さんは時間になっても体育館に現れなかったと。
And we're gonna end it there. Thanks for watching. We'll pick it up.